So I'm going to talk about some atheists today. Whoop-de-doo, another video on them. But I do think this is something that has to be said because I see it so much. They always talk about, well, there's no evidence for the existence of God. There's no evidence. No evidence at all. And this is just not true. Now, I want to iterate. This is different from saying I don't believe there's any good evidence or I find the evidence unconvincing. That's different. But the straight up blank say there's no evidence for the existence of God is a lamentably ignorant statement. People have been making arguments for the existence of God for literal centuries. Again, you can talk about each argument, why they fail to you. I think they work. You might think they fail. But it would be intellectually dishonest to say that there is no evidence. Okay, these are two different things. I want to iterate that very carefully. So with that being said, they show so much ignorance when talking about the subject. I was talking to this atheist in my comment section yesterday, and he was talking about a bunch of other crap. I think he was a troll, to be honest. But he would say things that just wouldn't make any sense, like, show me your God. The old schoolboy objection, playground, this is what kids would say. Well, he was like, well, I have a car, and I could show you the car. If you told me you had a house, you could show me the house. This, that, and the third. But, I ask where God is. Well, how are you going to show me God? It's like that, and it's just, again, ignorant. Because if you've done any amount of studying on the subject, you understand that it's ridiculous to even ask that question. To ask the question of, show me God as you would a house. Because God is not a physical object. If I could show you God, like I tell you, I have a bottle, and I show you the bottle. If I could show you God in that manner, then it wouldn't be God, would it? Because God has to be immaterial. Because he's the cause for the universe. I know a lot of, like, go back. They're like, well, what do you mean immaterial? That doesn't make any sense. Why would God have to be immaterial? It's very simple. God is the cause for the universe. Material matter began with the universe. So how could God be subject to the creation of the universe? It doesn't make any sense. He must be immaterial, outside of the universe, in order to cause it, in order to create it. So things like this, and then of course, they always switch around between these two things. The guy I was talking to, he kept talking about, well, how do you know your God's right? There's 1,000 different gods. After just talking about why, show me the evidence for the existence of God, and this shows more ignorance because if anyone was educated on the subject, they would know there's two different things: showing that there's a maximally great being, showing that there is God, and then showing which religion is true. These are two different things. First you deal with this, and then you deal with that. But they just mix them up all the time. So, I had to clarify. I mean, which one doesn't want? Then he just started talking about a bunch of crap. Go to the Ukraine church. They would love to hear your God-loving BS. You have a beard. It's a big beard. I mean, this isn't even a big beard, but I don't know. Maybe he was some Ukrainian guy I mean, his English wasn't good, so maybe some Ukrainian guy that was just pissed off. I don't know. I don't know what this guy was talking about. But in any case, this is stuff I see a lot. And to go back to the point about identifying religion, identifying which God is correct, which God, in quotations, he said, well, I believe, a quote unquote why was the creator of the universe. Do you believe that? Yes or no? And again, I mean, this objection, I mean, he's trying to make fun of me. But it doesn't even work because the point of the argument, stuff like, because I brought up the arguments, well, there's a kalam, there's an ontological argument, there's a contingency argument, there's a teleological argument, this, that, and the third. I do think these are convincing arguments. And then he comes back like, well, I think, quote unquote, why caused the universe. And, I mean, sure. I mean, if you want to identify God as why, I mean, these arguments don't try to prove the Christian God. That's not the point of them. So again, it just shows more ignorance. Even when you try parroting, it's not even a good parody. So, let's see what else. What else does it say? A lot. I've already made videos about religious ignorance in general, so I don't want to rehash that point again. There's also, because the video is about slavery in the Bible. And how does it get from, the existence of God to, from a video about biblical slavery? I mean, the whole video presupposes God's existence. It seems kind of pointless to start bringing up, well, God doesn't exist, God doesn't exist, this, that, and the third. That would seem to be more relevant on a video about something like atheism, but such as this video. Would be more appropriate. But in any case, don't be scared. If you're a theist of any kind, don't be scared of atheists. Atheists are not as intellectually bright as they are portrayed to be. Because you got all these people like Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, true intellectuals. They're so smart. No, they aren't. No, they aren't. Richard Dawkins, terrible arguments. Maybe he's a good, what is he, a biologist? I don't know what Richard Dawkins does. I just know when he talks about religion, he has no idea what he's talking about. Same goes for Sam Harris. He thought Muslims didn't believe in a virgin birth. Oh my God. Apparently this guy's some professional in religion. He doesn't know one of the most basic facts about Islam. With all that being said, don't be scared of atheists.